here in Fujairah for the first round of the 2015 UIM XCAT World Series. And we were meant to have a race just then between Marine Investimenti Sud and Dubai, but it looks as though it got called off just at the last moment. We've already had we've had two first round draws in fact, because Fazza, boat number 3, the defending champions, were drawn against the Fujairah team, but they couldn't make it out. So Fazza are through to the quarterfinals. They will face the yacht boat, and then the second quarterfinal will feature the T-Bone station boat, because the 6th boat of Hawes and Booze couldn't make it out either. And so the battle between Dubai and Marine Investimenti Sud is for the chance to face T-Bone Station in the second quarterfinal. It's a simple knockout competition going all the way through to the final in a couple of races' time. And alongside me is Sid Ben Salah, as we've said. And the Speed Cat run has become more and more popular, hasn't it, over the years as it's been used? Indeed,
now it's fully integrated as a format within the XCAT World Series weekend. Now it is accepted by all the teams, and it's a good way to tune the boat and to make sure that everything is working properly for the main day, which is tomorrow's race.
So here we go then with the next round 1, and it's the 7 boat there of Dubai with Salim Al Adidi and Aizer Al Ali. They are piloting that boat. They are racing the 20 boat of Marine Investimenti Sud, Serafino Barlesi and Alessandro Baroni. The race is underway, and it looks as though Dubai have the advantage. It's always a bit misleading from the camera angles, but I think Dubai are steaming clear as they come towards the finish line here in Fujairah, and they are going to qualify for the quarterfinals. Across the line they come, and they will be going through to face the T-Bone station boat in the second quarterfinal. Next up, we will have 17 versus 5, which is Rahib against the Abu Dhabi team. But here's the replay of Dubai winning that comfortably, really. No need for a photo finish there as they flash across the past the checkered boys. And Dubai, well, we have Salim Al Adidi back, and this time he's joined by Aizer Al Ali.
Yes, Ali Isa, he started the XCAT World Series in 2011, and he did 2 full seasons, and then he stopped for the almost 2 years, and now he's back. He was last year the reserve driver with Victory team and Fazza and Fazza team as well, and he is now given the chance to be next to Salim Al Adidi.
Salim Al Adidi is a man who's made an awful lot of progress in his few years of racing XCATs. And now we see the 8th boat, which is Saracen Australia. So maybe we're going through to them versus the XCAT team. We'll have to keep an eye out. The XCAT team, as Sid was mentioning, a brand new team to the championship. And they have got Michael Bengston and Eric Stark at the wheel as they get ready to wait for the green flag, and this for a place in the quarterfinal. There goes the green flag then, and it's a pretty good start by the looks of it from Saracen Australia, and they might well just have a slight advantage now as they come past the first buoy. The XCAT team are on the right hand side as we look at it, the orange boat, and it's pretty neck and neck actually. It's going to be very, very close, this one, as they come towards the line. A place in the quarterfinal up for grabs. Looks as though XCAT just about have the advantage as they come towards the line. It's going to be very close, but I think it's going to be XCAT who will progress into the quarterfinals. That was very, very close though, wasn't it? Great race.
Absolutely. 2 brand new team here for the 2015 season, and from the beginning, boat number 8, I think he had a good start, and the boat she cleared quite fast earlier. Boat number 2, they had some technical issue earlier today during the pole position. They broke one gearbox, and they really, they managed at last to get it fixed and splash the boat for the Speed Cat run.
And it's been a very big project for these guys, and the XCAT team have really invested in it, haven't they? Because they've got 2 boats, haven't they? One to race in and one to practice in back home in Sweden.
In a very short period of time, the XCAT team from Sweden, they sent their application in middle of January, and since then it was really a fast process for them, and today they are here with quite a good team, from the owner to the CEO to, and they even have a spare drivers, and the spare drivers they selected Eric Stark, which he's a very known figure in the Formula 2 and Formula 1 as well, circuit racing, and XCAT as well. He did a couple of races the past 2 years. And another one, which is Maric, he's very known in Formula 1 circuit racing. So it's a team to watch this year.
So we had the green flag on this next round 1 tie, which is between the 50 boat of Moad, which is on the left-hand screen as we look at it, and on the right-hand screen, the Gold Coast boat with Tom Barry Cotter and Paul Virik Nielsen. At the moment, it looks as though Moad have the advantage. It's Joachim Kumlin and Gary Ballou piloting that machine, but it's going to be very close towards the line. Across the line they come. I think that Gold Coast might have just got it, but I think we'll have to wait for a replay of that one. It looked very, very close. Here we come, up towards the finish line. That's the Moad boat, boat number 50, coming towards the line, and Gold Coast got in there just at the end.
Yeah, that was really a good finish, and you know, the target in the Speed Cat, it's you really need to watch the pace cut and the green flag, because if you are seconds late, that will pay straight forward at the finish.
Absolutely. There you can see the speed pace cat looping around again. It's Pasquale Sassano who's the man who raises that green flag and is in charge of releasing them, as he will do for the Fujairah Grand Prix tomorrow. And they will now loop back around. We need to still wait. I think we need to see a rerun. No, we saw that rerun, didn't we? I don't think we've had Rahib against Abu Dhabi team yet, but there's a chance that one of those two boats may have had to withdraw, so maybe that's why the race was skipped. We'll wait and see pretty soon. But here's the look again at Moad coming towards the line. It looked as though they had it in the bag, and then out of nowhere, the Gold Coast boat came through at the last moment and pipped them to it. Great run from Paul Virik Nielsen and Tom Barry Cotter. So now there is the 3-boat Fazer. So I think we're moving on to our first quarter-final, which should be Fazer against Yachts, the French team Yachts with Francois Pinelli and Salbu Bacho. And it was great to see them return to the XCAT World Series last season, and they've had some strong results, and they were very strong in the pole session earlier, ending up 4th quickest in that pole session. And there you can see the 96 boat just making their way now back around from the milling pool at the end there to face Fazer. But great to have Francois and Saul in the XCAT World Series, Sid.
Yeah, they performed very well last year, and they had a couple of issues like most of the boats, but I think they were quite steady last year. It's a boat that has, and a team that has a great potential. They proven that they can finish on the podium. I was talking to Francois yesterday and even earlier today, so he's happy with the setup he has for this first round, and hopefully he will finish on the podium.
We'll have to wait and see, because especially in this Dubai duty-free Speed Cat run, they've got quite competition in Fazer that they'll be going up against. There you can see the boats making their way back around, and then we'll figure out the identities of the missing 2 quarter-finalists. Someone has to race XCAT Racing, and also someone has to race Gold Coast Australia, because of the number of boats that we have out, unless actually because of those 2 not making it through round 1, potentially Rahib and Abu Dhabi team were both put through to the quarterfinals, but we'll have to wait and see as far as that is concerned. There you can see the boats making their way down to the far end of this course here in Fujairah. Great to be here in Fujairah for the opening race of the season, one of 3 Emirates that will be hosting events, because we go to Dubai in March and then again in the start of November before finishing off the season in Abu Dhabi. And just a couple of years ago, Sid, all of the races would have been around here, but this year we're travelling a little bit more.
We are travelling a little bit more. When we started the XCAT project in 2008, It was very clear that we wanted to keep it here in U.A.E. in order to grow the concept, to grow the brand and things like that. And the first ever race overseas was in September 2013 in Stresa, in Italy. And this year, so we crowned the championship in Abu Dhabi, where we missed Abu Dhabi since almost 2 seasons. And the most interesting thing is the event will be on the 27th of November, and on the 29th will be the final of the Formula 1 car racing in Abu Dhabi, in Yes.
Yes. Oh yeah, you're absolutely right. I can do both.
Yeah. So we are expecting a couple of F1 pilots.
Okay.
So let's see.
So this is the first quarter-final underway, and it is Fazza against Yachts, and it looks like it's a very good start from Fazza. Yachts nowhere near them at the moment as they come past that first buoy. There's a couple of seconds between them, so Fazza in their first race this afternoon are going to cruise through to the semi-finals by the looks of it. Arif Al-Zafin and Nadir Bin Hendi cross the line now to go through to the semi-final. That was all a bit too easy for the reigning champions. It took Fazza a couple of years to take victory in XCATs, but when they won the title then in 2012, they've been unstoppable since.
Absolutely. And just for the information, Jack, this boat is the boat that won the championship in 2013, and then it was shipped to USA to promote the brand, the Victory Team brand, and take part to the to some events in the same category. And they shipped back this boat last month, February, beginning of February, to Qatar, Doha, where they had the Doha Grand Prix. And Fazza, they dominated that event, and this boat is back again here in Dubai for the first round. It's very interesting because I mean, this boat is almost let's say 4 years old, and is still performing very well.
Yeah, absolutely is. And Fazza were running with a different boat last season, also trialling the 4-stroke engines that are to arrive in XCATs in the future. There was just a replay of Yachts and Fazza going across the line, and one of these 2 boats will face them in the semi-final. It'll be the 10 boat of T-Bone Station with Ahmed Al-Khameli and Giovanni Carpitella, or the 7 boat of Dubai with Salim Al-Adidi or Isa Al-Ali, as we get ready then with the Pace Cat and Pasquale Sassana with the green flag. It's Dubai on the right-hand side, T-Bone Station on the left-hand side. Get ready for the green flag. There it is. And who's going to get a good start? You see the nose of Dubai launching up into the air as they floor the throttle. And it looks pretty even so far. Maybe T-Bone Station just about having the edge. They qualified second in the pole session earlier on, and they're looking very, very strong this season. But the Dubai boat is staying with them. Through the halfway mark they come. I think it still looks like T-Bone Station who have the advantage as they come towards the line. It's going to be very, very close. Here they come towards the line, and I think T-Bone Station got it, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, looks wow, that's very close.
Yeah, well, because the camera's not quite level, isn't it? But to me that looks as though it's T-Bone Station who go through, but we'll have to wait for official confirmation of that. Here's the look at Virtual Eye. It went green. And, well, Dubai actually had an early lead, didn't they? It went up to sort of 10 meters or so. And then T-Bone Station in the sort of second half of the run really managed to close in. And then by the time they got to the finish line, there was 1 meter in it for Dubai just before the finish line. But, and then pretty much 0 in it at the finish line. Goodness me. Well.
Yeah.
I'm not deciding that one.
Let's see what the race director decision will be.
Because this is the photo finish again with the T-Bone Station there in the number 10 boat. Dubai had the advantage, but then it's so difficult to tell, isn't it? Because it's not quite level with the boys. So the race directors up there will be making a decision on that, and they'll send one of them back around. In the meantime, we will focus on this next run, which is going to be Abu Dhabi, the first time we've seen them out in this afternoon, with Rashid Al-Taya and Faleh Al-Mansouri. They're in the number 5 boat, and they are up against the XCAT Racing team, Michael Bengston and Eric Stark, as we get ready for the green flag. There it is, and the third quarter-final gets underway, and it's a very good start from the Abu Dhabi team by the looks of things over on that left-hand side as they make their way now towards the halfway mark. The XCAT team are staying with them reasonably, but it looks as though actually they're starting to drop behind a little bit now as they come towards the line. This is for a place in the semi-final, and I think it's going to be the 5 boat of Abu Dhabi who are going to go through. Across the line comes Rashid Altar and Faleh Al-Mansouri, and they are through to the semi-final. And as well as the round in Abu Dhabi at the end of the year, Sid, it's great to have the Abu Dhabi team here too.
Yes, it's great to have them, and Rashid Tire, boat number 5, and Faleh Al-Mansouri, they have, let's say, the newest and the latest XCAT boat, which is made by Victory Team, designed by Åke Manifeld, and this boat is really quite fast. Having this team back to the series is important for us, and they're representing the Abu Dhabi International Marine Sports Club, the same entity, the same club. They are present in the Class 1 Championship, in the Formula 1 Circuit Powerboat Championship. So it's quite interesting to see them back here in the XCAT World Series.
There's Veronica Alderin, one of the pilots for the XCAT team, shaking her head because her teammates have just been knocked out of this Dubai duty-free Speedcat run. We have had confirmation that it is the T-Bone Station boat, boat number 10, that are qualifying through to the semi-final. So this next race is going to be about who will face them in the second semi-final. One of the boats will be the 46 boat of Gold Coast, and I think we're going to have the other one as Rahib, but we'll just wait for confirmation of that. Okay, it's Marine Investimenti Sud then that they will be up against. Yes, so there's Marine Investimenti Sud. Away we go then, and they've already lost out to the Dubai boat of Marine Investimenti Sud, but they've been given a second opportunity, and now they're going head-to-head with Gold Coast.
And it's a good start from the Gold Coast boat, Palverik Nelson and Tom Barikota. They clear quite fast and earlier than boat 20.
As they come now towards the finish line, it's still going to be very, very close. Gold Coast look like they've just about got the advantage, and they do go through to the semi-final.
I think there will be a penalty maybe, which will be infliged to boat 20 because they crossed the finishing line on the wrong side.
Okay, here's a look at it again. You'll see Gold Coast there going through the finish line. Yeah, you can see Marine Investimenti Sud making their way over towards Gold Coast, and we think they're both going to go the right-hand side of the buoy there. Yeah, so might be in a bit of trouble. So that means we have our semi-final lineup. It'll be Fazza against T-Bone Station and Abu Dhabi team against Gold Coast Australia, and it's great to see the Gold Coast boat in the semi-final. Tom Barikota and Paul Verrick Nielsen have been together racing in XCATs for a couple of years now, and it's great to see them in a boat that really seems to start to be doing them justice.
And they've been racing together offshore back in 2007.
Okay, so a very long relationship.
Yeah.
And obviously the Australian Tom Barikota will no doubt be delighted to head to his home country in August this year when the XCAT World Series makes its way there. As far as the rest of the calendar is concerned, 21st of March is round 2 in Dubai. Then in May we go to a city in Europe that is still to be announced. Then we go to Cascais in Portugal in June. Then the Australian race in August on the Gold Coast. Then an Asian race in September before finishing in November with 2 rounds in Dubai and Abu Dhabi in the 8-round championship. And there was just a look at the replay of that Speedcat run, which Gold Coast Australia took victory in. And they will loop back around and head back to take part in the semi-final. And I imagine that Fazza and T-Bone Station are already back on their way. I think, from Marine Investimenti Sud as they come down towards the finish line. Gold Coast won it last time around that these two faced off, but it didn't count. So now the rerun has happened, and Marine Investimenti Sud are going to win the rerun. Serafino Barlesi and Alessandro Baroni then will be through to the semi-final by the looks of things. And not as good a run that one for Tom Barry Cotter and Paul Vogt Nielsen, and that must be very frustrating as they come across the line. And, that was quite a comfortable one in the end, wasn't it, for Serafino Barlesi and Alessandro Baroni in that Marine Investimenti Sud boat. So that means that finally I think we have our semi-final lineup, and we'll just wait and see who's going to come back now. There's T-Bone Station still waiting in the water, as are XCAT. So I'm not entirely sure why XCAT will be lining up there, because they got eliminated in that last run with the Abu Dhabi team, unless they're going to have to rerun again because Abu Dhabi went the wrong side of the buoy. We'll have to wait and see. This is the first round of the UIM XCAT World Series, coming to you from Fujairah in the United Arab Emirates, about an hour and a half drive east of Dubai. And there is the pace cat as we get ready to see what will be the next run. I think we may have a rerun between XCAT and Abu Dhabi, but we'll have to wait and see what Pasquale Sassana, the man who runs the operation and is the starter, decides to do here in the opening race of the season. And don't forget, it's the Fujairah Grand Prix coming up tomorrow. The race starts at 3:30 in the U.A.E. So that's 11:30 in the morning in the United Kingdom, 12:30 in Europe, and that's when the race will be getting underway. Join us a couple of minutes before for all of the build-up. And that will be a thrilling race, no doubt, because the weather's due to pick up a bit tomorrow. It is pretty windy out there, looking at the flags, even on the stationary boats. So I think it could be a pretty entertaining race tomorrow. This was one of the roughest races of the season last year, won by Fazza, but with Nicolini Offshore finishing in second place. Unfortunately, Nicolini in their Horse and Booze boat haven't been able to take to the start in this Dubai duty-free Speedcat run, the presentations of which will be handed out at the gala dinner tonight at the Novotel. Okay, so we are about to have the first semi-final. Fazza and T-Bone Station are going to be lining up against one another in order to try and grab a place in the final, and these are the two boats that will be starting in first and second places for the Fujairah Grand Prix tomorrow. So this will be an interesting, perhaps, representation of the start of tomorrow's race. Who will get the best getaway and who will take themselves through to the final, where they will either face Abu Dhabi team or Marine Investimenti Sud. You can see the boats making their way around. This is the protected area of the water, really, inside the sort of harbour area, before the rest of the course for the actual race tomorrow heads out into the sea a little bit more towards the myriad of cargo ships that are moored out just out off the coastline here in Fujairah. So there's the green flag for the first semi-final, and it gets underway. It looks like a pretty good start from T-Bone Station, to be honest, but Fazza, as always, have got away well too. And it's Fazza who just about have the advantage, I think, as they come towards the halfway mark. It's going to be very close. We saw T-Bone Station really fly in towards the end of their quarter-final run, but it looks as though they're not going to be able to stop Fazza. Here they come towards the line, and Fazza are through to the final in the Dubai duty-free Speedcat run. Great work from Arif Al-Zafin and Nadir bin Hendi. The defending champions are through to the final, and they got a good start, and T-Bone Station just couldn't quite keep with them. It's Luca Fendi's boat, but Luca's not racing this weekend. It's Ahmed Al-Khamili and Giovanni Carbatella who are racing, and there you see Fazza across the line, commanding victory for the number 3 boat, and they go through to the final, a place they're very used to being. They've had a number of clean sweeps over the years. Let's have a look at it on the replay from Virtual Eye, and you can see when the flag goes up, Fazza have already got a good 10 kilometers an hour advantage, the gap going up to 30, 40 meters, extending all the time. And what sort of speeds are they hitting at the end? We're going to be sort of approaching 180 kilometers an hour, aren't we, as we get towards the line, which is somewhere in the region of 100, 110 miles an hour. And Fazza across the line with 100 and... well, they backed off before the line, didn't they? Because they could see the advantage they had, some 55 meters over T-Bone Station. And Fazza are through to the final, Sid.
And T-Bone, they were late at the start, and in this game the start is 70% from the race.
Absolutely. And so T-Bone Station will have another run. They will be out to battle over the final place on the podium, with whoever loses the duel between Abu Dhabi team and Marine Investimenti Sud. No, here comes the XCAT team. So are they going to race against Abu Dhabi team again? No, it's Marine Investimenti Sud, so I wonder if Abu Dhabi were disqualified.
They were indeed. They've been disqualified for the missing the finishing line, so they crossed the finishing line on the wrong side. The match between Gold Coast and number 20, that was as well DQ for both boats from the start, and the rerun of that match. So the explanation, because the previous one, they were both disqualified.
Okay, so that explains it as we get ready for the second semi-final. Which of these 2 boats will meet Fazza in the final? Wait for the green flag. There it is. XCAT over on the left-hand side in the orange boat. Nearest to us are the Marine Investimenti Sud pairing of Serafino Barlesi and Alessandro Baroni as they come down now towards the halfway mark. It looks as though the 20 boat might just about have the advantage, but it's going to be very, very tight as they come towards the line. Maybe Marine Investimenti Sud stretching their legs a little bit now, and they will be going through to the final to face Fazza as they cross the line. The XCAT team with Michael Bengtsson and Eric Stark piloting that boat, unable to quite keep with them. It was only a boat length or so at the line, but Marine Investimenti Sud are through to the final to face Fazza, and this is one of the strongest SpeedCat run performances I think we've seen from Serafino and Alessandro for quite a while. Very good performance, and they go through to the final. XCAT will still have an opportunity to face this boat, T-Bone Station, in the small final, which will give them a chance to be on the podium. And what a superb result that would be in their first SpeedCat run, to be on the podium. I think we'd have some very happy Swedes out there.
Yeah, and the boat number 2, the one is used by XCAT. From the design point of view, it's a little bit different. It has a shorter tunnel, which makes this boat very competitive and aggressive when it's a little bit bumpy offshore. The other ones are a bit wider, so that's why, and that explains why the boat is a little bit slow on the flat. And this boat number 2, it needs a little bit of time and distance to basically keep the pace and keep the speed steady. The predicted forecast tomorrow is northwesterly wind direction with the sea height between 1 to 1.5 meter, which is quite good for this type of boats. If everything goes smoothly, I think boat number 2 will be comfortable in this condition, including 96.
Okay, yeah, that's going to be very interesting. And also the Hawes and Booze boat, the Nicolini machine, they were saying they're hoping for some rougher weather because this time last year they finished second and had their best result of their whole season here when it was a little bit rougher. Hopefully it's not as rough as it was on, I think it was Wednesday, when there was a sandstorm and there were waves coming over as high as the breakwaters. Hopefully it'll be a little bit calmer than that, but it should still be very entertaining. Here then is the Marine Investimenti Sud boat, number 20. They will be facing off T-Bone Station for the final place on the podium, which will take place at the gala dinner tonight. And in the 10 boat, it'll be Ahmed Al-Khamili and Giovanni Carpitella.
And we didn't see today boat number 6, Matteo Nicolini. and Tommaso Poli, and as well boat 28. And I guess they had some trouble this morning, some technical issues.
Yes, and we also didn't see boat. No, we did see 22. We did
17.
see Vidics out there, and yes, 17 was the other one, Rahib. So here is the small final for the final place on the podium. There's the green flag. T-Bone Station on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, we have Marine Investimenti Sud. Who's going to get the best start? A big rooster tail from T-Bone Station, but that settles down a lot earlier than Marine Investimenti Sud, so perhaps they have the advantage, but it's looking pretty neck and neck as they come towards the halfway mark. And T-Bone Station now really starting to stretch their legs in the second part, and it looks as though they're going to take a comfortable third place. Across the line come T-Bone Station, and it's third place in the Dubai Duty Free Speed Cat run for them. So fourth place then for Marine Investimenti Sud. I think they'll be reasonably happy with that, and T-Bone Station will be happy as well, I think, to have picked up a third place and a trophy to go with it. But now all attention will turn to the final between Fazza and Marine Investimenti Sud, as they get ready now to head out there onto the course again.
And here come the Swedes.
Yep. So it's going to be the Swedes who will be facing off. Here's the look of that third place playoff again. Well, there's the XCAT Racing and Fazza anyway making their way towards the final. My apologies, I think I said it was Marine Investimenti Sud and Fazza in the final, but it is of course XCAT Racing. We saw them defeat Marine Investimenti Sud, so it'll be these two boats doing battle as they come now behind the Pace Cat around to the start line. You can see the Pace Cat. There's the Fazza boat on the right hand side. On the left hand side there is the XCAT boat as they get ready for this final run in the Dubai Duty Free Speed Cat run. One of these two will win the first Speed Cat run of the season. It'll be Fazza, who are furthest away from the shore in the grey boat on the left hand side as we look, and in the orange boat closest to us on the right hand side it is XCAT. They wait for the green flag. There it is, and the final is underway. Good start as ever from Fazza. XCAT trying to stay with them as they come towards the first buoy. It looks as though Fazza might just have the advantage. XCAT will be doing their best to try and stick with the defending champions, but it looks as though it's going to be a commanding start to the season. They took pole position earlier on today, and now Fazza are going to win the Dubai Duty Free Speed Cat run. Across the line they come. It was pretty close at the line. XCAT will be over the moon, I think, to be on the podium in their first competitive racing outing. But it's Fazza who take victory. Arif Al-Zafin and Nadir Bin Hendi defeating Eric Stark and Michael Bengtsson. And there you can see Fazza across the line, maybe some 4 or 5 boat lengths ahead of XCAT, but nevertheless for the Swedish team a great start to their XCAT season, I think.
Absolutely, this is I think they are over the moon for sure, and for the first ever appearance in the opening round of the 2015 XCAT World Series. Here we go. They have a podium, Jack.
Absolutely, and a second place, and it was all about that start again from Fazza, wasn't it? They're doing 160 kilometers an hour. XCAT Racing doing 145 at the same point. So the gap continued to extend, and it was a comfortable victory in the end for Fazza. They had to work hard against T-Bone Station and against the yachts boats as well, and eventually defeating the XCAT Racing team in the final. Well, they've had the perfect start really to the season, haven't they, Fazza? They took pole position earlier on, and now they've won the Speed Cat run here in Fujairah in the opening round of the UIM XCAT World Series. And there is the number 2 boat of Eric Stark and Michael Bengtsson making their way back. Great to have them here in the championship. And that concludes the Speed Cat run, and another entertaining run, Sid, and now all attention focuses, well, firstly to the gala dinner tonight, but then to the Fujairah Grand Prix tomorrow.
For the Fujairah Grand Prix tomorrow, it will be broadcasted live on Dubai Sports Channel 2 and Channel 4, and we will web stream on YouTube live at 3 o'clock local time here, so 3 p.m. local time in Fujairah, United Arab Emirates.
Absolutely. So you have no excuse not to join us, and so we will be back with you tomorrow. But from Sid Ben Salah and myself, Jack Nichols, and everyone here at XCAT, join us tomorrow, 3 o'clock Fujairah time, for the Fujairah Grand Prix, the opening round of the UIM XCAT World Series.